For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Sashnee Moodley. Researcher and analyst Professor Raymond Suttner joins me to discuss contestations in the Ramaphosa era. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
So you write that people want Ramaphosa to get rid of all those who are associated with Zuma, but you write that this isn't so easy. Why is this?
Well, I don't know that everyone wants him to get rid of them, but let's say many people who want a clean-up, who want regularization, believe that it's important to get rid of those who are symptomatic of the corruption and maladministration and irregularity of the Zuma era. People like Nomvula, Mokonyane, Batabile, Dlamini, Malusi Kigaba, probably one or two others who I can't remember offhand. I think that when you go back to the way Cyril Ramaphosa was elected, you can understand that he's having to move slowly. Personally, I would prefer him to move faster, but I understand I'm not able to judge the balance of forces in the ANC. And he needs to carry people behind him who didn't previously support him, because when he was elected at the Nasrec conference, it appeared that this was part of a deal where he did not enjoy a majority of the support, or may not have enjoyed a majority of the support, and Didi Mabuza and Paul Mashatile were doing deals. And you can see that Mabuza had a lot of hands to play because he got more votes than anyone else out of the top 6. And Cyril Ramaphosa won by a very close margin. And I think the price of making a deal is that you have to pay something back. Yeah. Now, we may not like that, and, well, I don't like that myself, but I think that it is a conditioning factor on what he does. But what we need to look to is what he has done, what is helping to regularize government functioning, the economy and all those things. And what I've argued in the article is that we've got to find ways of supporting that. Me as a writer, people who are in organizations, things like that. So we have an imperfect thing, but politics is never pure.
Yeah.
And I think the purists work in a world that doesn't exist. Since we've got this world, which is unfortunately uneven, we've got to encourage that which will take us to a different space. And I see Ramaphosa working within these spaces, but nevertheless achieving some things, but with setbacks. You know, on the one hand, the Hawks and NPA are pursuing Estina farm products. On the other hand, the SARS people are revived again, charged again. I mean, that is a charge which I thought was now finally buried, but now they come again, and it's not going to work.
But as president, should Ramaphosa not have the ability to be able to sweep clean those in government without having to rely on the deals that he made?
You see, he is the president of the country, but he depends ultimately on the support base that he has beyond being president. Now, that support base is not the DA, it's not business, it's the ANC, and the ANC is very divided. Now, if the ANC or people who oppose him were to get a lot of people rumbling, like you had with Zuma, it's possible that he would be forced to move even more cautiously. So the fact that you have on the door of your office president does not give you the powers to do what you want to do. It does, in theory, give you certain powers. But in politics, you have to build and nurture and consolidate the base of support that you have. Already, since December, it appears that many of those who had previously supported Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma have seen that the future is with with Ramaphosa, and they've crossed sides, or they are moving in that way. You can see in the language of someone like Malusi Gigaba. He is a survivor. He's doing his best, as he's done with previous presidents, to position himself in order to keep his position if he can. So holding power doesn't mean you have a static relationship with your base. That base may change, as it is changing, and I think you will find that many of these people who were hostile to Ramaphosa, if they feel that Ramaphosa is there to stay, they're not going to try and rock the boat. It looks for the moment there's no chance of rocking the boat and getting him out.
Yeah. Now, what can we as citizens do? Because Ramaphosa can't take this on alone. He can't make changes on his own. What can we do?
Well, some people think I'm romantic with this emphasis on the popular. I believe that citizens, and we're not only citizens who live in South Africa, there are a lot of other people who can suffer if the police raid them, foreigners who actually have the right to be here, a number of these things. So there's a lot of inhabitants of South Africa who are formed in a number of different organizations, or could well identify common interests that they have and organize themselves on that basis. The problem with the protests of last year is that people went out into the streets, or they wrote graffiti or a range of other things, and then after they'd done that, they went to their homes. They didn't have a continuous relationship with one another. Now, making the will of the people, the masses, felt depends on organization. It's no good for me to say I'm angry and go in the streets with a placard and then never do anything again. You've got to have a continuous relationship, whether as professionals or wherever you are, workers, teachers, wherever you are. Through that, you can make your weight felt. Now, some people are contemptuous of the word the masses. And if you look at Raymond Williams's book, Keywords, the word the masses has had a lot of derogatory connotations in its time, but it really means the people. And you have to understand that the people are not one. The Freedom Charter says the people shall govern, but the people are diverse. They're not only one, they may be one for certain purposes, but they're also diverse. And leaders need to, and organizations need to understand that diversity, the distinct interests, the distinct identities, and they need to build on that.
And lastly, are you positive about the Ramaphosa era?
I don't work in optimism, pessimism, positive. I think there was a cricket player, Eddie Barlow, who said something about luck. You have to work for your good luck. Now you have to work. If you feel that at this moment in time, whatever the weaknesses of Ramaphosa, this is the best way we have right now to clean up and to move towards a transformatory thing. If that is the case, we have to do what we can to make it succeed, even in ways that Ramaphosa may not have in his mind. Try and use our power to do that. So I'm not working on positive, negative. I want to make it positive. But I'm small fry sitting behind a computer.
Thanks for speaking with us, Professor.
Thanks a lot.
That was Professor Raymond Suttner speaking to Creamer Media's Polity about contestations in the Ramaphosa era.